welcome back. If we haven't met yet, my name is Tiffany. I'm a Washington real estate agent who has a love for creating beautiful spaces on a budget. And today I'm super excited to share what I think just might be my favorite DIY project to date. I'll also be sharing a big mistake that I made that ended up costing me a lot of money. So hopefully I can save you guys from doing the same. Let's go ahead and jump right in. I have several upcycle or makeover pieces that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. But first up, let's take a look at my first inspiration piece, which was this crate and barrel chair. It's beautiful, but at $1,000, it's not quite in the budget. So when I found these chairs on OfferUp for $80, I decided to see if I could recreate the look. I've tried removing the finish off of wood with oven cleaner multiple times, but I've never had great success with it. After reading several tutorials, I decided to give it another try. I then let that sit for about 30 minutes and then thoroughly scrubbed it with this scrubbing sponge. Once dry, this is what it looked like. This is not the look I was going for. It's possible that if I continued on and did the process multiple times, I could get more of the look that I wanted, but it also seemed to be damaging that caning there. So I decided to switch it up and go with plan B. As you can see here, some of that oven cleaner dried on there. So here I'm using some isopropyl alcohol to clean that off. Here, my husband's using this tool to get into the little nooks and crevices. Once that dried, it was looking really flat to me and I wanted to add some dimension, so I decided to try applying this stain over top. At this point, it was getting closer to what I was going for, but it was lacking a little bit of richness. So I created a very watered down wash with this melted chocolate apple barrel paint. Once all of that had fully cured, I then applied a top coat. For the seat cushions, because I was using a light color, I wanted to make sure that whatever fabric I used was going to be very durable. My first thought was to go with an outdoor fabric, but the patterns that were available were not quite what I was going for. But then I spotted the performance fabrics. If you're not familiar with performance fabrics, they're known for being extremely durable and very washable. I love having a battery operated stapler. Typically, if your staples are not sitting flush, adjusting this right here will take care of that. I couldn't figure out why that wasn't working. Later on, after I had wrapped up this project, we realized that the staples that we had in there were just too long. So if you ever run into that issue, try switching to a shorter staple. Whenever you're doing a project and you're going to be reusing the original fasteners, I suggest putting those in a labeled bag. For my next project, I had two inspiration pieces. The first was this Pottery Barn lamp that sells for $349. Also, this lamp from Shades of Light, and this sells for $240. I found these lamps on OfferUp for $10 each. Because these were glazed, I decided to start with a primer. Here I'm mixing some paint with some tile grout. At this point, I was regretting applying it to that top portion, so here I'm trying to wash it off. Here I'm taking a damp rag and lightly rubbing it in a few spots to do what they call wet distressing. I then took a sanding sponge and sloughed off any loose pieces. I decided to apply a few different colors to add some variation. I then applied a whitewash. Once that flower was applied, I then added one more layer of whitewash. It may seem as though we're almost done with these, but it was at this point that I realized the mistake I made. We'll come back to these in just a moment and wrap up this project. This past month, we've been super busy with travels. Also, we've had sickness in our home. So I just have not had much time or energy to put into grocery shopping and meal planning. Also, I've shared with you guys in the past that we're trying to eat healthier in our home. So I'm really excited to share about today's sponsor, Hungryroot. The way Hungryroot works is you go on their website and you fill out a little questionnaire, and this helps them to get a good feel for what types of meals and snacks you like, as well as if you have any special dietary needs. From there, they create a customized meal plan for you. You can go in there and swap out anything that you don't want. As much as I enjoy shopping, I'm not a big fan of grocery shopping, so I love that they pull all of the needed ingredients, box it up, and it shows up at your doorstep. I think it's pretty magical. So let's go ahead and see what we got. Here's what we received in this week's Hungryroot order. As you can see, they pulled some snacks for us. Some of these we have had before in the past and liked, and then some of these are new to us. I'm really curious to try this almond chickpea cookie dough and see what I think. And then they also include your recipes for the week. They're really nice and simple and help to keep us on track. This is so much cheaper than going out to restaurants, and I love the convenience of it. If you're interested in giving Hungryroot a try, I have a special offer for you. You can receive 40% off of your first grocery order by using my code TiffanyGemmer40 at checkout. To redeem that, scan the QR code on the screen or head down to that description box and click on that link. So the mistake that I made here was buying lamps that did not include shades. Shades have gotten so expensive. I ended up paying a total of $65 for 2 lampshades. And as you can see here, they just are not a great fit. They look a little high water to me. I tried swapping out for a shorter harp, but then my bulb would not fit in there. Because these shades are not returnable, I decided to modify these lamps and see what we can do to make them work. What you're seeing here is a push-in wire connector, and if you pull on these wires, they won't come out. So the way you can get them to release is by taking a really small screwdriver, putting it right beside it and pushing in, and that will release the wire, and then you can pull it out. And as you can see here, one side said plus and one said white. But because there was no white wire, I decided to make a mark on one of them so I would know which one went where. My original thought was to lower this down and shorten it, but that was not working. So we're moving on to plan C. Here I'm using some dollar store epoxy. I then balanced these pliers on here to help hold it in place until it was cured. If you find that your harp on your lamps is casting a shadow on your shade and you don't like it, try swapping out for frosted bulbs that will help to diffuse the light and eliminate that shadow. This little book box is something that I picked up out of the Goodwill bins. Here I'm using some drywall mud or joint compound mixed with a little bit of paint to help keep it from crumbling. And you may recall that I also picked up this wood round out of the bins a while back. Once I got to the end, I had this awkward little gap here that couldn't fit a full bead. So I took some scrap wood and hot glued a bead to it. And there's that half bead. If you're new to my channel here, a lot of what you'll see me do here is experiment, and that's exactly what's going on here. I could tell very quickly that this was not going well, so I tried to get as much of that off as I could. I then applied just the brown wax. I then followed it with this white wax. I also picked this up out of the bins a while back, and I added some wax and turned this into a candle. And now for my favorite piece. We found this on Facebook Marketplace for $100. It was really nice as is, it just didn't fit my style. I knew I wanted to switch up the look of the backing, but that mirror was really nice and I hated to get rid of it. So what I decided to do is use the back of the mirror, and then later on down the road, if I decide that I want to use that mirror again, I can just flip it. These things are super helpful for cleaning off glass or any other hard, smooth surfaces. I then used a deck staining brush and applied some decorative glaze in the color Java Brown. I made sure to apply it in the natural direction of the wood grain. I then went over it with this broom to add a little extra texture. I love this product. A little goes a long way, and it takes quite a while to dry, so you have a good amount of time to correct any errors that you've made. You may recognize some of these DIY decorative pieces in here. The majority of what was used in here came from the Goodwill bins. These little scalloped bowls were something that I picked up with some birthday money that I had. These were from Amazon, so if you guys are interested, I'll have these linked for you. I love how simple this project was and that it did not require sanding, and I felt like it went a long way in helping to modernize this piece. If you love that high-end look but don't have a high-end budget, I hope that you're feeling encouraged that you can have beautiful pieces in your home while sticking to a budget. I'll have more videos like this linked down in that description box. I'll also have that offer from Hungryroot, so don't forget to go check that out. If you enjoyed this video, would you please do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button? And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'll see you next time.